I was born 6 years after the end of the First World War in a small village in southern Bohemia called Sudoměřice. My father had a little shop there and several fields to work on. In wintertime, he was pulling with the horses trees from the forest to be loaded and fitted into rafts, which were floated to Hamburg for shipbuilding. My father on the side started to sell insurance. He was asked to move to Moravia. So we lived in Brno, in the capital. It was on the main road towards the military headquarters. And the second day of Hitler's invasion, he was traveling to the military headquarters. And me, a wild kid, I went to have a look through the window and forgot to open it. So my head went through it and they all looked up. Hitler into my face, actually. The guns aimed at the window. Mom started to pull the slivers of glass from my face and neck and bang on the door. Gestapo, Czech police, God knows what else came in, wanted to know what's happening. And Mom, who was educated in Vienna, spoke German, told them that I wanted to see the Führer. And that Gestapo bloke comes to me, patted my shoulder, said, "A brave Junge, der unseren Führer sehen wollte." The good boy who wanted to see our Führer. And then came the announcement from the Jewish organization in Prague that we are in a transport. In November 42, at 5 o'clock, we marched with our rucksack. It was drizzling. Nobody, except for one lady who waved a handkerchief, said goodbye. And we looked back towards our house and we saw already people running in to steal and so on. And that's the second time I saw my father cry. I cried with him. Going to Terezin, I took with me several woodworking tools and even the narrow saw blade, which I had rolled up safely in the rucksack. I was sent to put up barracks, and that was outside Terezin. The timber was cut in a big building, riding school. One day I was walking past that place and a big chap came to me. He says, "Look, would you like to do me a favor? It might be a bit risky, but tell me if you want to do it. I need few pieces of timber from the riding school. And ask Mr. So-and-so, tell him you come from Brumlik." I went there. He gave me a load of the things and I marched back. If I was caught, I was supposed to say it's to repair the bunks for the blind people. I put it there. "No, can you do it again?" I did it 4 or 5 times. Brought them in and that was it. And he said, "If you have time, come here anytime in the evening. We are playing theater here and we are singing here." Later on I found out that the wood was used for the production of Brundibar, a children's opera, and I saw it many, many times. I loved Brundibar from the first time I saw it because it was describing practically a lot of my life. I could imagine myself singing and living through the story. All the children loved it. It was a freedom from the camp life, from the danger and fear of the Germans and so on. That had also a good consequence because some people who were performing, one day they were singing, next day they were in the train to Auschwitz. Then in late 44, I arrived with my father to Auschwitz. During that time I was sick with pneumonia and I kept working, and when it spread to my left side I just collapsed once on the appel in the morning, and I was supposed to go to the sick bay. Before that we changed our boots. My father's were not good, so he took mine. And in the sick bay we had to give up our clothes and even those boots, and we were naked, two in one bed and one blanket. And I was next to a Slovak Jew who lost the whole family. He knew he was dying, and before the dying he told me, "Willst du sagen Kaddish for me?" I didn't know what Kaddish means, but I promised, yes, I will. My duty was to carry with somebody else the body into the storage place. So naked, with pneumonia, only in the wooden clocks that were there for that purpose, we did it. And he said, "Just chuck it over." And I said, it's a human being. There was a rumor that the Russians are moving faster than possible and that the camp will be evacuated. I decided not to stay because people said the people in the sick bay will be eliminated. And somehow I joined them, made a hole in the blanket, had those two Dutch clocks, and went and joined them. And after that, I don't know how many days, I have no idea what was. And I crawled following the narrow road, and until I saw sign of civilization, barbed wire and a narrow road. And I collapsed on a snow-covered body of somebody I never saw, but the snow was clean, so I could lick it. And then I hear somebody coming from the right-hand side. He was in the prison uniform, bent, and I saw only the bottom part of him pulling a box of soda water bottles that they found somewhere. And I asked him, "Give me one." And he stopped, said, "No, I cannot give it to you. We found some frozen potatoes. We are going to cook them. We will have a soup." And as I looked at him, couldn't lift his head properly, I saw the boots were my boots. And it was my father. Me too. Yeah, I always have tears in my eyes. So I lived again.